folks, just we're waiting to set up. First part will be unembargoed live content, and then we'll swap over quickly. So just waiting for the cameras to set up, and we'll be ready to go. Let's go. Okay, you're on time. Thank you.
Yeah, I suppose one of the things that jumps out from the team that you named today is Sean O'Brien on the bench, firstly, and Devin Toner as well. We know that Sean O'Brien's been carrying a bit of an injury. First on him, how has he been progressing?
Yeah, making good progress. Yeah, just still managing Sean coming back in. So, I think we've tried to. We've gone hard to pick a strong team, strong set of reserves as well, that hopefully will represent Leinster well. You come to the challenge after 22 games, regular season games, where we've used 51 players. So competition has been really, really high. So a lot of tough calls. But hopefully we've got a strong group that will, as I said, represent Leinster.
And Devin Toner as well, is he carrying an injury, or was it as you said, it was just a tough selection?
Yeah, he didn't train last week, Devin. He'd had carrying a little bit of an ankle knock from Ulster. So, but Hayden and Ross Maloney have both gone well this year. So I think we've got a good combination. As I said, guys starting and guys finishing now as well.
I saw Sean Cronin doing a couple of shuttle runs up the side there. How's he progressing from his a neck injury?
Yeah, it's been quite difficult because his neck again injury is sort of cropped up post the Claremont week. So you're never really too sure how, like when you have a disc in the neck, how they quite settle down. So he's been a little bit slower than we would have originally forecasted. So just trying to manage him carefully. He is back out running, but he wasn't fit and available this week, and obviously that leaves him very, very tight for what's ahead. And he was left out of the tour as well. So just trying to make sure he gets right.
Devin dropped out of the Ireland team as well recently enough, and it's probably pretty simple that he would be starting for Ireland next year. Has he lost a bit of form, or does he need a bit of a challenge in his career as well?
No, I just think it's a competitive group, and Dev I think will come on. I think it's important that we finish strong in these games, and Dev will give us good impact there.
I suppose there might be a bit of concern if you would hoping there's no injuries to your backs, but having just two backs on the bench there doesn't give you many options if the games are in the first or the end.
Reece says he's pretty happy anyway covering the midfield, and Dan Levy likes covering the wing as well. So we've done it a couple of times before, so there is always a little bit of a risk. But as I said, I think we've a strong group there. So even the likes of Luke McGrath has played on the wing earlier on this year for us. Zane gives very, very good coverage, whether 15 on the wing or he's played in the centre as well this season for us. So we've got good versatility there across the board.
How big are the losses of Bones involved for the Scarlets?
It's pretty well documented that Jake Ball would be out, so he picked up that shoulder injury in the Connacht game. But Ken Owens, he's captain of the club, and I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with him, but he is a key figure. But Elias as well has featured a lot of games for them this year, so they've probably similar to ourselves. They've had a group, a good strong core group that have been a mainstay of their regular season Pro 12 campaign. That have taken on most workload while ex-internationals are missing. So I think they'll be pretty comfortable.
You've been part of teams going into knockout matches over the finals against Ospreys here at the RDS, and maybe Leinster going in as heavy favourites. Do you learn any lessons from those games as well? I think the final in 2012, a couple of years before.
The ones you lose tend to stick in the memory a lot longer than the ones you win anyway. It's you're learning all the time. Obviously we've got recent experience of playing in a semi-final. There's definitely lessons from that day that players have taken on board. It's a different challenge. It's unusual preparation going into a semi-final, this not having played at the weekend. Different team obviously that played against Ulster, so some guys that played in that game are still smarting to a certain degree and feel that maybe we didn't quite do ourselves justice or play as certainly to the level that we're capable of playing. Other guys have been out for a little bit longer, so not having played at the weekend, we're all sitting there watching the Champions Cup final, and it's almost asking the question what could have been. This week then it's having to go through all last week, preparing and reviewing the Ulster week, and this week is a relatively short week. So I think at this stage guys are just keen to get out there and play now. There's been this sort of lull period, even knowing for a couple of weeks prior to this game that we're playing. We didn't necessarily know who we were going to be playing, but we knew we were going to be playing on the Friday night here at the RDS. So for the players now, it's just everyone just wants to get on with the game and get back playing. Hopefully we get a big crowd here. We've had some good enjoyable days. And the players want to make it a special place to play here at the RDS. And I think for the most part this season it has been really special, that relationship with the crowd and with the players. The players, they talk all the time about making, being able to express themselves, particularly when they have the ball, and creating big moments in the games that the crowd want to get behind. So hopefully tomorrow night will be another one of those nights.
Leo, Hayden Triggs was saying that he found it tough to show up on Monday knowing that this is his final game in the RDS. How has he been training and looking ahead with that in mind?
Yeah, it's a difficult time for every player. Has to come to the end at some point, and Triggsy's been great. He's really added since he's come into the camp. Obviously, it was pretty well documented. He had some tough times, personal times earlier on in the season, and he's rebounded incredibly well from that, and he's been a really good character for the group.
Recent bad news for Mike McCarthy last night. How good a worry for him, and what's he been like to the team?
Yeah, really disappointed, I suppose, just for him to know that he didn't probably get to go out on his own terms, and he had plans and didn't get to fulfil them. But I think beyond that, you've got to look at the career he's had, and everyone in our group had so much respect playing against him when he was in Connacht and having some battles against him. To then get him into our environment and see what kind of a character he is, and he certainly is a character, a great lad, and someone who's really added to the environment, as Hayden has as well. So from playing against him and more recently playing with him and enjoying his company, really have a lot of respect for him, and I guess although we're disappointed he didn't get to finish the way he wanted, just wish him all the best, I suppose.
Macker, yeah, great. We had some good tussles when he was with Collins. And I enjoyed playing with him here as well, and it was a real pleasure to be coaching him his last couple of seasons as well. So as Rhys said, he's a larger than life character, and we'll definitely miss him. And it's pity, but that's the nature of the game. Obviously, as players push on, it was the accumulation of a few bangs and knocks, and it's sad obviously that he couldn't go out probably the way he would have planned, but that is the nature of the game that we're involved in.
Rhys Josh brings a lot of experience into the back row, and his international experience, and obviously with Leinster as well. Is that something you think will be a massive help tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think looking at the team sheet, there's incredible amount of experience in both teams, and there's internationals within both teams, and I think looking at the back row in particular, both teams have quality players and guys who can kind of count on that experience in international games, big games, semi-finals. So I definitely think we'll have to sort of weigh on those things ourselves, learn from that semi-final in Claremont, and make sure that we just get the start we want, get ourselves into the game. I think we have the players to be able to perform and give it a good crack this time.
Scarlets, I suppose, look at that game, they probably feel that they can get at you guys tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Been watching them closely. Just obviously a couple of guys I know playing for them, and likes of Tig, and some of the guys I would have played with back in Wales as well. And they're a quality outfit, and kind of a good team to watch as well, I suppose. And I think they will have probably seen some of our games and feel like they can come over here and have a good crack at us, having had some big away performances this season. The game against Munster kind of stands out, and I think that'll sort of give them good confidence coming away to the RDS, where it's obviously a tough place to come and play, but I think from the season they've had and the experience they've had this year, they can probably expect to come over and give us a good test.
Leo, you guys beat Scarlets 45-9 in March. Is that result something you can take confidence from heading into this weekend?
It is, yeah. You wouldn't want to rely on it though. Obviously we lost over in Scarlets in November, so we'd have pretty tight tussle against them the previous season here, and lost over there. So it's we've had some good tussle with Scarlets over the last couple of seasons, and yeah, they're a difficult team to play against because they're very competitive at the breakdown. Back row that will play on the edge all the time. They're messy in terms of us when we have the ball because the way they are at the tackle area. Players that play in the edge in the back of the tackle, and the likes of John Barkley, who's got a ton of experience, or they make it difficult to play against them. And if they get turnover ball, the pace of across their backline in particular makes them very, very dangerous. And Jay, you've seen over the last couple of weeks they've caused teams a lot of problems. They would have been buoyed, I suppose, by their win in Thomond, so they're used to going away together to a tough place. And the teams are very, very different, probably to the team that played during the Six Nations or towards the end of the Six Nations. But it's a different challenge. We just need to go about preparing as best we possibly can. We've had a decent lead in, and as I said, I think guys are just itching to play again, but knowing that it's going to be a really tough challenge.
Okay, folks, quick swap over.